I love traveling. I love exploring new cultures, and they all carry codes for us, but it's all within us. You know, it's all frequencies within ourselves. And once we tune into it, we're just like, wow, like me living my dharma. I mean, it saved my life this year. Like if had I not had my dharma, my sense of purpose, I would have lost myself. But then sometimes it's like, I would be crying, I would be deep in it. And then I would have my like coaching call for Highest Self Institute, and it would like remind me of my worth.
Yeah.
Especially when dating. Oh my God, on these dating apps, it can really mess with your worth because people ghost you. They're, you know, they bare minimum of trying. And then you're like, is it me? Am I attracting this? Is it the collective? And then you create these generalizations. Dating sucks. All men are like this, all that. And I was like, and then I would live my dharma. I would like speak on stage. I would DJ my set. I would make music. I'm like, wait, I'm literally my dream girl. Like, I am so fucking in love with myself. Like what, like, and then that would change my vibration. And then I would meet people who could see that within me as well. And I'm so grateful to be able to have a sense of dharma, because I know so many women in my lineage and throughout the world don't. And for anyone who's listening to this, who's deep in it, like take this as your opportunity to become the version of you always felt like it was too soon to be.
Yes.
Like I always knew one day I'll be an artist, one day I'll make music, but I don't know how. And, you know, I have my career, I have my business, I have to focus on that. And, you know, spirit was just like, no, the time is now. Start doing it. And I feel music especially, it allows us to give people a frequency and embodied experience of a texture that like cognitive words cannot. Like I can tell you how to be sensual, steps 1 to 5, or I can play you, my body is an altar, the sacred site is me.
And we're going to play that for people. So there'll be like a little snippet of it. All right. So I want to break down some of this insane high level wisdom that you are sharing so people can adopt it for themselves if they want to. Because one of the things I revere about you, like you bowed to me at the beginning of this, and I want to bow to you just because I see you move through life with such divine alignment and such power and such grace through all of it. Through the traumatizing events, through the heartbreak, through the shocking experiences. It takes my breath away. Whenever we have exchanges, I'm just like, well, God damn. It's so beautiful.
Take my breath away.
Totally. So one of the things that you're talking about that I understand through the tantric tradition, right, is a type of darshana, which is a view, right? And the tantrics really emphasize if you want to get the highest fruit out of anything, your view is the most important thing. You have to start with right view. So a lot of how you made medicine out of the pain is because of your view on life, right? What I see where many of us get stuck is that we are conditioned to believe 2 things. Number 1, life is about getting what you want. And that has to do with your worthiness and your attractiveness and whether you're good enough, right? And number 2, for most of us, we were set up with a religious view that tells us that God wants you to have everything that you want, right? And if you don't, then maybe you're doing something wrong or you were messing with Satan or whatever, right? There's this kind of expectation that even if you don't entirely make that conscious, it's still like, well, if there's an all-powerful, omnipotent God out there somewhere, like, why wouldn't he give me everything, right? And it creates this brokenness when something really bad happens. I'm a victim because I did something terrible or because the universe did something terrible to me. The underlying darshana that I hear in you that you can trade out is that the universe wants my wisdom and my truth more than it wants to give me everything that I want. And I like to think of a really good mother, right? Because yes, the universe wants to fulfill your desires, and there's aspects of the goddess that want to fulfill your desires, right? And if all you do as a mother is try to fulfill your child's desires, and you don't want your child to have grit and resiliency and wisdom and truth, right? To be able to stand with an erect spine and face the magic and mystery and power and heartbreak of everything, what kind of mother are you, right? So when we trade out this very paternalistic idea of the universe or these stories that make us easily play victim to the universe, all of a sudden, as you were sharing in your wisdom tales, it's like you can meet the moment in a whole different way, right? This isn't, when people say this isn't happening to me, it's happening for me. But if that's just a mental idea, right, you're bypassing. where is the actual viewpoint of the universe wants me to be wise. The universe wants me to be in truth. And the universe actually, I just had this vision when you were talking about this, is like mapping my yoni. Like if I'm a giant yoni, the universe is like, you know where it hurts?
That's such facts.
You know where your grandma's pain is still living inside
that
of
left
you?
upper cervix? Yeah, let's hit that. Breaking in London.
I'm just going to push in there. And you got two choices. You can either be like, get out. Stop touching me.
Get in.
Yeah, and you're like, oh my God, press harder. And I'm just going to scream consciously and feel it all so that it can be wiped from my karmic record. So there's something really powerful about that. And you also referenced the surrender experiment, right? This is a book by Michael Singer that really articulates what it is to surrender, which I'll give you the TLDR version of it. It's like, regardless of what my ego wants to happen, what is life doing? What is, but also when you stop being so invested in your mind's idea of how everything should go and how everything should look, you can actually feel the energy of the universe and what life is doing, right? And as Michael Singer says in the book, that I think is one of the most beautiful things, he's like, why would you not partner with the level of genius that creates galaxies and rainforests and dolphins and rainbows, right? Like, and orgasms and poetry and heartbeats, like so much, right? When you partner with that divine intelligence, you can go so much farther than what you do with your own mind. Because like the human mind is brilliant, but like you give me 1,000,000 years on this earth and I would never make a squirrel. I would never make a rainbow.
No.
I would never make a dolphin. I might find out how to orgasm, but like not if life hadn't given me all the hardware to, like it's just like partnering with that divine intelligence is so smart. And sometimes we can fight divine intelligence, right? For you, you were like, all right, life said my marriage is over. What now? Right? But so many of us can bang our heads for years being like, oh, but that thing, oh, I lost that thing or whatever, rather than being like, where is life going? And how do I get on the ride? And how do I claim the ride as my own rather than doing this subtle victimization to the universe? How do you stand up and meet it? Because in my experience, she wants two things from us. She wants us to learn to celebrate through all of it. And she wants us to know our own power, the truth of ourselves as God. And we do that by giving up the victim story and standing in ourselves. And I've just, as I've like watched your journey, both in person and also how you show up on Instagram, like one of the reasons I'm just like slow fucking like clap of just like, yeah, is I can feel that in you. I can feel a woman in surrender, and I can feel a woman who is meeting the mystery and the moment with so much wisdom that it is catapulting you far beyond anything you've ever known because you made medicine out of trauma.
Well, thank you so much for seeing that and witnessing that both on and offline. And for anyone that's in it, it's so fucking painful. And I know, like, it wasn't even like my choice. It was almost like God was like, we're gonna put you into this unknown until you can become comfortable in it.
Yeah.
Because anytime I tried to hold on to another reality, tried to sign a lease, tried to like a guy enough to get into a relationship, it was just like, nope, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
And all of my deeper resistance would come when I would be fighting that. And I'm just like, okay, I thought I had my life planned. It's like when you're married, you're just like, okay, like this is my life indefinitely. And I had a good life, and then I'm just like, wow, if something that I could feel so certain about can just be gone overnight, like how could I know anything about myself, my personality? Like it was almost like I needed to become the opposite of who I was in every aspect to like find my equilibrium, right? Like before that, I was like all about joy, like I was writing a book about joy, and then it's like, no, you're going to sit in the fucking shadows, girl. We'll put you in timeout, and it's like, because I couldn't, like that Khalil Gibran poem of you can't know joy without grief.
Yeah.
And, I needed to look at all, like, especially, I worked with plant medicine, and that journey showed me anything I've ever in my life felt: shame, discomfort, disgust, anything about, like, right there. And it actually lasted in my system for like 4 days after. So every night when I would go to sleep, I would be back in the journey. It would get darker and darker and darker. And like one night I was like, oh, I see how people could go crazy from this.